You are now tuned into the Big Bank Show here at 1580, The Fanatic, with our host, Michael Bankston.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Bankston, and you're joining the Big Bank Show this morning on 1580 AM, The Fanatic, and 99.3 and 95.95 FM. So today, it's one of the subjects I have to face all the time, especially playing in NFL for many years, is the obesity. We fluctuate in weight from years to years. As we get older, it's getting tougher and tougher to lose some weight. So what we have here is the Tackle Obesity Challenge. It's a 6-month challenge that we can trim the fat and learn how to keep the fat off. That's the onus of it. We're hoping that longevity, because the quality of life as you get older gets tougher, especially playing in the league for many years. They said average lifespan of an NFL player is around 60-some years old. And I'm a grandfather, so I want to live as long as I can for my grandbaby. So hopefully this wellness challenge will be beneficial, not just for me, but those listening out there that needs this opportunity, because we're going to make it available to the public. Right now, we have some athletes that's going to be working on this challenge, and hopefully we all accomplish our goals. So stay tuned. And today I have a couple of guests here that are actually went through the challenge once before, but also are the ones that are responsible for getting this out to a lot of the players, and they're on the challenge with me. So welcome to the show for Tackle Obesity. I have Russell Allen and Richard Walker. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, thanks for having us. Big Bang.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Big Bank Show. Hey,
soon to be a little break. Soon to be a little break.
Swim back.
I'm trying to bring sexy back, so hopefully this works for.
As long as you keep your butt, you're all good.
So Russ, in this Tackle Obesity Challenge, I know it's been dear to you hard. You've been working with the NFL for some time, and you've seen the ups and downs, and you yourself, you said you've been working on keeping your weight down. You said you're about 5 pounds from where you want to be over the years, so you've been learning how to keep the weight off. I know guys in the league that like such as Derek Nard and some other guys, it's tough. It's tough for them to lose that weight. So hopefully we can get this Tackle Obesity Challenge out to many of the other players and, again, out to the public. So how can we do that, Russ?
Well, first of all, we have a great website, tackleobesity.com. And anyone who wants to join the challenge can go there. You simply give us your email, and we'll send you an email that will invite you to join one of our teams. Each of our teams is led by a former NFL player that has gone through the program themselves and has lost weight. That includes Richard Walker, who's here with us today.
I tried many things like a number of people have, the yo-yo diets, the fad diets, the quick things, lose a pound here or two, but gain 10 or 20 back, as athletes, we're trained and conditioned to just get bigger. Size matters, especially when you're playing football. You know that better than anybody, Mike. And over the course of all these years of inactivity, in addition to having office jobs now and sitting on your butt all day, or in my case, I'm sitting on my butt talking on the air all day, and there's not a lot of activity that goes with that. So I created a situation where I was very bad shape. I was like Russ said, I was 420 pounds. I had gout. I had high blood pressure. I didn't know it at the time. I was pre-diabetic. Which I learned later on after getting my blood work done. But what the program did for me is it educated me.
And that's motivating. Those stories, those success stories like that. I think we also had in that challenge, Otis Anderson, said, to name some other athletes, and they all lost some weight. And for the most part, they kept some of it off. But I know this Tackle Obesity Challenge will give us a better education part of it, to where we can maintain and be sustainable and keeping this weight off.
We're all teammates on this, man. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you're practice squad or Hall of Famer or just the mailman or whoever. We're all members of this team, because this is something that impacts everyone. And there's just so many different legs and layers to this obesity thing. And as you mentioned, it's impacting us all in so many different ways. So we got to work together to come with a solution.
One of the best things we can give our families for Christmas is a healthier you, and somebody that's going to be around for more years, more Christmases, more holidays, whatever ones you celebrate for your family, those that you love. Mike, you mentioned your grandchildren. I have grandchildren, and I think every day about how is Grandpa going to be around and how I'm going to do that. And so it's really a gift, our life, and to be able to realize it's also a responsibility. You got to take responsibility for your life. Depending on what your goals are, if it's just to be healthy and so on, we're going to train you to do that. But if you want to go past that and you want to reach a level of fitness that goes beyond that, we have coaches that can support you in that as well.
Right. And they can get all this information on tackleobesity.com. And hopefully you listeners out there, let's take advantage of this. Get on this challenge with Russ and Rich and myself and some other guys, and let's go out there and live a healthy life. Let's go out there and get healthy, be healthy, stay healthy, and have a quality of life for our kids and our grandkids, and just being able to go outside and walk around. I know some people, that's a struggle because of their weight. This is an opportunity for you to go and lose some weight, and lose it the right way, first and foremost, because a lot of people, like Rich was saying, the quick loss diets are not good. Sometimes the intermittent fasting, as Russ indicated, is not the best. He said it's good for maintaining, but it's not the best for losing weight in the beginning. So we're going to learn some new techniques and some new ideas and what to eat and what not to eat.
You are now tuned into the Big Bank Show here at 1580, The Fanatic, with our host, Michael Bankston.
Morning, listeners. This is the Big Bank Show, your host, Michael Bankston, on 1580 AM Fanatic 99.3 and 95.9 FM. Today, we're going to talk about youth obesity. And we do an excellent job of trying to help them and give them some physical activity, motivate them, encourage them to get out there and play at least 60 minutes, not on the phones, not on the computers, not on the game boys and all those things, but actually getting out and doing some physical activity. These guys are out there doing that thing, and we have some special guests that are very, very well known, very endowed, and they are parents themselves, so it's important to them about the youth obesity. I'm sure they got their kids' friends that they want to make sure they're healthy and living a quality life. I have Richard Walker, the big man, and that lost 91 pounds, and he's still for more. I have Russ Allen, the scientist that's all behind the Tackle Obesity Challenge, on the show today as well. And he'll be talking about the ins and outs of the body and why we should be eating healthy and why we should be doing this challenge. So I'm looking forward to hearing from both of those guys. But again, this is very important to me, very dear to me. Russ and Rich, welcome to the show. You're on the Big Bank Show. You know what? They don't call me Big Bank for nothing. You know, I'm 6'4", 300, and I still look sexy. So talk to me, Russ and Rich.
I have worked with young people my entire life, and I have never seen the amount of young people that are suffering with obesity as we have today in this country. And it is a combination of factors that they're experiencing in their life, starting with lack of movement. You mentioned 60 minutes. Reality is every 60 minutes, you got to get up and move and do something. Children will sit and play in front of a computer or a television set literally for hours while they're munching down high-fat, high-carbohydrate snacks that have nothing but detrimental effects to their wellness. So, Tackle Obesity, the work I do, is all about educating young people about that.
Absolutely. And I think it's so critical that we focus on the youth. And, obesity is something that it sees no color, age, race, sex, or whatever. But it is the amount of impact that it has multiplies when it impacts our youth. Because the sad truth is, if you're obese as a youth, the odds of you making it to later years in your adulthood go down significantly. At the rate that we're going right now in this country, if we have this exact same meeting 40 years from now, this room's going to be half empty because half of your grandchildren aren't going to be here. And that's just a cold, hard fact that, the morbidity rates that are tied to obesity go up significantly the longer that you're in a state of obesity. And there are so many different comorbidities that go along with it. That obesity is a silent killer, and it starts at a very early age. When you and I and, Russ's generation, when we were kids, we rode bikes. We had to go out and play football. There were no computers, no games, no phones, none of that stuff. So to entertain ourselves, we played. We ran, we played sports. We spent most of our time outdoors, and we came in when the streetlights came in. Right. Now it's the opposite. It's like they're sitting around all day on the phone, on computer, on TikTok, on Facebook or whatever, and the activity levels are gone. The type of food that we eat, these processed foods that have all the type of ingredients that just cause you to gain weight and be obese.
You're right. It was different for us growing up. We couldn't sleep at, Rich. I don't know about you. You couldn't sleep at. You had to be up doing something, some kind of physical or working. You had to when I was growing up. And I thank God for that. Because you're right, nowadays they have so many distractions. They have so many other things that's vying for their time and attention, but they're not looking at the important things, such as getting the physical activity, such as eating right, such as a balance. Kids have a difficult time with balance and setting their own limitations and boundaries. And so hopefully we can educate them through this program, through this obesity challenge, and get them to see that it is to have a better quality of life. Just like you said, if I was obese at a young age, most likely I'm going to be obese for the most part. Let's work on these youth, Rich and Russ. We should have a few that are going to be on the show, and they'll give you their experience and their mindset. But we're going to continue to work on tackling obesity. I like the name, Russ. I don't know if you came up with it. I don't think you that bright on that end. But Rich, because, he's a former player too. He's a tackle obesity. Yes, right. We had it head on. And we old school, Rich. We're not in the country club nowadays.
No, sir.
Yeah, we actually hit somebody. How can we work on the youth and others to get them out of that pandemic mindset? We are moving on from that, even though it's still around.
Building activities that pull the kids back into the active realm. And I will tell you, the importance of this goes beyond just what you would think normally. We work with the National Guard and with the Army, and they're saying 60% of the young men and women who want to serve their country are too obese to qualify to go into the military. Now, these are people that have put their hand up and said, I want to go, and they can't because of the obesity problem.
That we can work together to solve a problem. And so, collectively speaking, you saw us all pulling in the same direction to solve this pandemic because it impacted everyone. It showed that we can collectively work together to solve an issue because there was awareness. There isn't a global perspective on obesity, and there needs to be. We need to treat it the same way that we treated the COVID pandemic. That's the issue that we're having right now, is that COVID was loud and boisterous. COVID was very disruptive, and it was very upfront about how it attacked us. Obesity is silent. Obesity is very quiet. It moves very slowly. It impacts you over a course of years, versus COVID is immediate. You get the symptoms, you feel sick right away. You know whether or not you're positive. Obesity is something that builds over time, and it takes away, it robs you of years of your life on a very slow scale.
But maybe the kid can teach the parents sometime. We all
learn a lot from our youth. Absolutely. Yes.
So,
it's cool to talk to your parents about it. And you're not being disrespectful. You're showing them that you love them. Hey, mom and dad, you probably need to go, think about signing up for this, because ultimately, here's how the young folks you listen, here's how you approach them. Mama, daddy, I want you to be here longer for me. Now, when you really think they're going to have a problem with you if you approach them like that, then this is how you strike the conversation about, addressing obesity issues. So it's not bullying, it's not shaming, it's because you care, and that's why you say something.
Even my wife, even with me, we talked about us in a challenge as well, is the fact she's like, I want you here longer.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a grandbaby. I want to be with you longer, and you need to change some things about yourself. Change the way you eat, change what you do, and your activities, and become more focused on you, not selfishly, but to better you.
Join us as we dive deep into the world of health and wellness, bringing you expert insights, inspiring stories, and actionable tips to tackle obesity head-on. Stay tuned every Saturday to the Big Bank Show with our host Michael Bankston, and together let's tackle obesity.